And without further ado, we have. Well, there was no ado, but without further, names, faces, and things like that. Well, it all started with a fight, I suppose, and then it went from there. There were two of them, but it sometimes looked like three, swinging and fucking each other up. In the orange of the firelight, they rolled around, on the ground, like tree roots, sort of, if you looked at it on a timeline. Chronologically, in alphabet order, crisscross applesauce, Indian style. No doubt it was something to see. Dirt and blood and a crowd of eager faces flickering around a flame. That was it. Primordial soup. It was the first time I had seen them, and damn, one was on top of the other just pounding away at what could have been mistaken for a smile. It was over, but I couldn't tell who had won. It was too damn dark, and I was too damn drunk to climb down from this tree, and the crowd was too damn stupid to do anything but help them up. A girl was sitting next to me, and she told me their names, but I forgot. She kissed me later. I forgot that, too. It was days or weeks after that night. Time wasn't so important back then. In the back seat of the school bus, everything changed exactly the same, no matter which bus I was on. It wasn't mine that day in particular, and it's doubtful that I was going anywhere, either. But they were there, and that's when we actually met. The one with the black hair and a scar over his ear was smoking a cigarette out of the window. The one with black hair and a girl in his arms was sitting with the girl in his arms. They were twins. "Austin, put that fucking cigarette out before I stop this bus. You can't be smoking on this bus. I'm gonna write you a referral, sure as hell." The bus driver was a slothy antique, straight from the used bus driver market. At least he yelled instead of using the loudspeaker. He hit the brakes a little, to show that he wasn't fucking around, but he was. "I ain't Austin, you old fag, goddamn." Not loud enough, but he took a drag off his cigarette, and everybody thought that he was cool. His brother sorta grinned, or snarled. "Don't try pushing this shit on me, Austin." He emphasized the word, like it was him or it wasn't him, like it didn't really matter. The girl he was holding looked like a slut. She should have had a lollipop. A minute passed, and he coddled his whore, and he nursed his cigarette, and I wanted one too. I thought maybe I would ask, but I didn't. I looked up from carving something in the fake brown seat to see Leatherface making eyes at me in the rearview mirror. This time he used the intercom. "Hey boy, I ain't seen you before. You best see me before you get off the bus." I muttered something then, something stupid, that nobody probably heard. But this sparked the twins' interest. Austin turned back my way, maybe even looking friendly, and put his cigarette out in the empty spot next to him. I couldn't see it, of course, but it was pretty dramatic. "Hey man, I've seen you around school. What you doing on our bus?" Maybe it was a cigarette talking, but his voice was sort of muted against the noisy public transportation. The freshmen started yelling, "Screw!" and we pulled up to a railroad crossing. That means silence, you little fucks. When the bus started moving again, it was really fucking loud, and I answered him as best as I could. "I'm going to visit my brother, he lives out here." It was best to lie about everything. Not that I was good at it, but I had to learn sometime. "He live out here? What's his name? We probably know him." It was the other brother this time, with the girl now cuddled in his lap, something absurd. Stubbly chin pointed right at me. His eyes were cold, double-barreled. I was getting off at the next stop. "Dakota. John Dakota. He just moved out, so I doubt it. My name's Eric, and what are yours?" I had to change the subject to establish common ground. Anything under those stupid fucking eyes. "Dakota? Never heard of him." "You smoke weed?" It was the other twin that answered, but he sounded the same as the first and the second, like an empty acorn pitched on wet cement. I wasn't sure if he was testing me out or what, but it definitely didn't sound like he wanted to go burn a joint and be best friends. "Yeah, some. You got any?" "We got mids for sale. Fire-ass mids, on the low. We're the Shelleys. We grow that shit. Anything you smoke in this town probably come from us. You looking to buy?" Even then I knew what shitty weed was. "Nah, man, I'm out of cash." And thank God the bus slowed to a stop, squealing the wheels and the stupid running lights, and the little stop sign was probably mechanizing its way into a perpendicular, and I was free. "This is my stop. I'll see you guys soon." Slutty Chick Twin turned and stuck his tongue in Slutty Chick's throat. It was like he was licking her mouth clit or something. I had to get the fuck out of there. I put my head down and started walking the grooved aisle, stepping over spit puddles and soda cans, no man's land. All the little fuckers on the side were just barbed wire. Austin and his brother, in a plot device I could only deem typical, antiquated, were making their way out into the trench behind me. Just when I was almost free and now not free again, the bus driver made his big move. You. Talk to me. He pointed and his finger was either crooked or falling off or something. This your first day? One of the Shelley boys bumped into me and sidestepped around. And he was the one that smelled like he slept with his pigs in a drop of body spray. I made it a point not to notice the other one as he passed. I looked at the bus driver up close, and his face was sort of concave, and he had a cleft full of glossy eyes. He had probably been smoking the Shelley shit, to be honest. He looked like Uncle Barrett, and the last time I saw Uncle Barrett, he was in a casket. Go fuck yourself, dead man. And that was it. I was off the bus on my way, going to where I needed to go. It was dazing at first, stepping into the sun and all, and I slit my eyes to look around. Middle of fucking nowhere, and the bus rolled away just like it had stopped. On the other side of the road there was an orange grove, so thick in August that I could barely make out the rows. There weren't any migrants picking them today, but there could have been. On my side of the highway was the same orange grove, but with a gravel road, stretching away long into the heat waves. Had you ever been down it, you wouldn't have guessed it was a dead end. Just miles and miles of nothingness until you're there. But I had been here before, and she was waiting, in her blue pickup on the side of the street. And the glare off the white rocks in the windshield, and even the big fucking sun up above, couldn't stop me from seeing it. Two dark figures on each side of the truck, talking through the windows. I started walking slow. Apparently they were finished by the time I got there. In fact, they didn't even look at me, as I turned to the bed and hopped in. One hand on the shoulder and 2 feet up and over in unison. I might have even called it graceful. I mashed my thumb into the door button because it was one of those thumb mashing button type of handles. It creaked open, sort of rusty-like, and I slid into the passenger seat, positioning my feet in between the trash and the usual accumulation of shit in the floorboard. Hey babe, how was your day off? I was casual, and on the usual pretty slick, I would say. No reason to ask about the boys sitting in the back, no reason to wonder why or how they knew each other, because everybody around here knew each other, and people like that belong around here. She smiled at me, and it felt good, but she was probably just smiling at herself. It isn't a day off when you're skipping, Eric, but it was okay. She said okay, like she wasn't sure what it meant. We could talk like this for hours. Did you ride any of them damn horses? I hated horses, too big and too smart. Killing machines, really, when you think about it. They kick people in the face. It was always a point of interest of mine why she liked them so much. Not today, it was too hot out. But what if I did, anyway? I don't see what your problem is with them. They're some of the kindest animals on the planet. They let you ride them, for Christ's sake. Did I mention how fucking hot it was? Or did I just now realize it? I was just teasing you, babe. But I don't really know why I don't like them. I just can't really trust anything 4 times my size. Dangerous, you know? I didn't tell her about my 7-year-old daughter, neighbor, that got kicked in the face on Christmas morning. I didn't tell her how my friend Carol broke her hymen riding a mare age 11. I didn't tell her about how I fell face first into a ditch full of muddy water, the only time I ever rode. And why should I have? There was a bit of silence, and she looked in the rearview mirror, and I looked in the side view mirror, and we all looked in the mirror, and I had to ask. So who are the hitchhikers? Who? Austin and Toby? They're my neighbors. I figured the least I could do was give them a ride. You don't know them? I hear they have the best mids in town. Sometimes I was a sarcastic prick. We met on the bus. A couple of real nice guys. Identical, right? Yeah, pretty much. But Toby has red cheeks like he's always blushing, and Austin has that scar. I must have missed the red cheeks, with his face stuck to slut chicks and all. Somehow I wasn't disappointed either. The road was still growing before us, but the grove was tapering away to our sides, opening up into shitty, neglected fences. A typical amount of buzzards were circling in the sky up ahead. I looked to the woods on the right and the farm on the left, and wondered just how boring a place could get, just how mundane life could be. I wondered if Jody would ever leave, but the way she drove that big-ass truck, like it was stuck in a slot car derby, told me she wouldn't. She was texting somebody. I chanced to look into the back of the pickup. Austin was smoking a cigarette again, and everybody thought he was cool. Pretty cool. Huddled down low and blowing smoke that you couldn't see into the wind. Toby had his shirt off and sat crosswise. He was wearing sunglasses, the dark kind. I didn't look away. Just as our gazes met, she screamed, "Shit! Beauty! Oh my god!" And just like that, the car jolted to a stop. And everything stopped except for Jody. Well, actually, I hit the dashboard with my head. But that doesn't fucking matter. She was out of the car before I knew what was going on. She was kneeling by a cat in the middle of the road. The buzzards were all upon us, spiraling down like a deck of cards. Some of them sat at the side of the road, black silhouettes in the sun. The girl was the only drop of color for miles. I cracked the door open, but it was too late. Toby was at her side and helping her up. "It's dead. It's dead. There's nothing you can do." I give these words more meaning now than I did then, but I am wrong. I sort of stood off to the side. How the fuck would I know what to do? She clutched the cat to her shoulder like it was alive, and she was sobbing. "It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's gonna be alright." Those were not my words. They were his. Shit, even Austin was over by her side. Toby started to hug her, with the cat still in between them. "Who the fuck would shoot a cat?" she cried. Toby looked to his left, coddling his whore, and I caught his eye. There wasn't a hint of color to his face. Oh god. Oh yeah, alright, it recorded. Oh my god, I'm excited. Hello, nice to meet you, hi. This is me, this is my shit voice. I hope you like it. Or liked it, I guess. Bye now. Bye.